The grandkids curse. Here's the grandkids curse. If this hasn't happened to you, it happened to your parents or it happened to someone you know. Somebody's kid is misbehaving or they're not paying attention or something, and the parent says, I hope someday when you have kids, they act the same way you do, or they treat you the same way you're treating me. The grandkids curse. The equivalent to that in the webinar world is simply this. You've been in way more webinar audiences than you've been the presenter in a webinar or a participant in a webinar. The way that you acted when you were in someone else's audience is the way your audience will act when you're the presenter. Not because of the way you acted. There's no causation here, but there is correlation. They will do and behave the same way you behaved when you were in someone else's audience. They will look at their email. They will use you as background radio. Some will pay rapt attention the whole time. Some will get up and leave the room and go get a snack or use the bathroom or something. Some will do their quote unquote real work, and they really only registered for the webinar because they're using it as a protected block of time so their coworkers can't book them in that time slot, but really it's there so that they can do something else. So you should not assume, and so many speakers assume this, you should not assume that because you're the speaker, the audience is like locked onto you. Now, this is both good and bad. People who get nervous because they're talking to an audience, you can relax because a good number of those people aren't paying really much attention to you at all. And if you make a mistake or something, they're not even going to notice. The flip side of that is that when you need people to be paying attention, you should know how to structure your content and some techniques that we're going to go over later in the course for how to get people's attention or how to get it back onto you if there's a particular slide or segment that you really need them to understand. So just understand, you're not some kind of rock star. You're not riveting entertainment for most of your webinar audience most of the time. They act the same way that you acted in the webinar you were in last week, and that you will act like again in a webinar that you attend as an audience member next week. All right. So don't get too caught up in what the audience is doing. Just understand that we're going to together structure your content so that we get the maximum number of people providing you with the maximum amount of attention, the maximum amount of time. We'll never get everybody, but we should do way better than if you're just throwing up slide after slide after slide and vomiting information. That's the grandkids curse.